Okay, so I want to talk about how storytelling completely elevated my work as a visual artist in illustration or in paintings or in animation. I also want to share with you some insights that fundamentally changed my approach of creating and sharing my art. So if you're ready, let's dive into it. Okay, so maybe you can relate to this. You've been practicing your craft as a visual artist for years. You've been developing your skills with drawing or painting, composition, color theory, whatever. But whenever you actually decide to share your work with people, you never really get the feedback that you were hoping for. It's just either dead silence or crickets, or people are just uninterested. And this leaves you with this profound sense of disappointment and this feeling of that you've wasted your time and effort. I can totally relate to this. Many times I've felt even this sense of maybe I should just give up art altogether. If people don't like what I create, then what is the point? But it truly changed for me when I went to film school and I just started understanding how storytelling is actually at the core of human communication, and learning storytelling through any medium can deeply impact your audience, and it can evoke emotions, and you can communicate ideas that goes past the brain and into the heart of whoever's watching. So I want to share these insights with you, but let's start this off with telling my own story of how I was stuck and how I was struggling in the beginning. For the first 20 years of my life, I was quite stuck with this need of impressing people with my art. I needed to become great, much like the movie Whiplash, where I had this need of impressing people and becoming one of the greats. And it wasn't until maybe 10 years ago that I started to realize that I've been building this whole art career on this foundation of a need of validation, a need of affection. And it was actually pushing people away. The audience could sort of sense this need, this neediness in my art. So it never really resonated as I longed for. So I practiced, I honed my skills, but it never really went anywhere. I kept posting my art, but nobody cared, essentially. Nobody gave me any feedback. Nobody received the art as I wished they would. And it was actually quite frustrating for a while because I had no idea what to change, which direction to go from here, and what I should do. So now I'm going to share with you the actual insights that I had from film school and working for around 5 years in the animation industry. As soon as I stopped trying to make my art about me and stopped trying to get people's attention on my ego, and actually started to tell stories about us as people, fellow humans, or even go as far as have my stories and art be about the audience. Something changed. I started to notice that the engagement and people's reactions to what I created, it started to have the impact that I was longing for, that it was important for people, and they valued the experience, and they actually thanked me for creating the art or the film or the story or whatever. I even saw some people cry when they had seen my short film. So this opened up a whole new level of appreciation for creating art, not just for me and not just about me, and not this unconscious need for attention and validation, but actually touching upon our humanity, this life on this planet. We're all going through sort of the same steps, even though we are widely, uniquely different. There are still like a handful of commonalities and overlaps that we can all relate to. So I would like to invite you to, during this week, to start journaling on experiences that you've had recently that you can feel in your gut that a lot of other people will resonate with. Maybe you think that you are so unique that nobody has ever experienced it just as you have, but yeah, try to write it down and try to draw from this experience. Maybe you can tap into the lessons you've learned from this experience, or you can tap into how it felt in the moment, just pure emotion and physiological states of maybe fear or, I don't know, sweaty palms when you're nervous, or try to tap into the experience of this story that you've gone through. The more it changed you, the more it will resonate with people. So if it was a very challenging situation, you were elated, you were filled with joy and laughter and bliss, this is also a valid story. It doesn't need to be dramatic, where you were crying or afraid or angry. Yeah, I think the key would be to look back throughout the past couple of months where you felt strong emotions, something you needed to figure out, and you actually overcame a challenge, or you met a deadline, or whatever it could be. And try to journal from this place, sketch from this place, use your imagination to come up with compositions that could frame this whole story in a single image. It could be a painting or an illustration or a drawing or a collage or whatever you feel is appropriate. For me, this approach of expressing myself, but expressing the part of me that is human, a part of a human tribe, it really truly resonates with a lot of people. And some things that I thought that I was alone with, and this is only me. And of course, there's like thousands or millions of people going through the same exact situation. So this is what I want to invite you to try out. I promise you it will open up a whole new path of creating art from your actual life, and you can then add layers of imaginative, heightened reality with fantasy creatures or huge castles in a forest. Do whatever you feel like, but as soon as you have this core of real life, real human experience within the art, you can do whatever. So that's it for now. And if you want some inspiration for how to understand stories better, or try to think about stories in a new perspective, I've made this video where I take the 5 books that actually changed my own perception and understanding of stories. And I would say I learned more from these 5 books than 4.5 years at film school. So it's worth checking out. But for now, happy drawing and sketching and journaling. See you in the next video.